Yes, I have spent the morning crying. If my face looks puffy or I sound a bit snotty, that is why. We're not going to talk about it. I've got a lot going on, but we're not going to let it define the week. Good morning everyone and welcome to another brand new weekly vlog. If you're new here, my name is Astrid and this is my YouTube channel where I vlog every single week of my life. This is week number 27. I've been on an emotional roller coaster this morning, guys. I've got a lot going on in my brain at the minute. My mental health isn't fantastic and I've been giving it spiral. Like one of those, what are the like slides? Helter skelter. That's what this morning feels like. You know, like when you sit on the little carpet and you're like, oh, I don't really want to get on this carpet, it's like a bit dirty, and then you sort of push, you get like pushed down by like a stranger that works on the slide. I feel like I embody that experience at the moment. But anyway, what did snap me out of it was a lovely delivery. My boyfriend Charlie signed me up to Freddie's Flowers and I forgot about it, that today is the first day. Got my vase ready to go and I didn't realise that it would come with instructions about how to like assemble the bouquet. I thought we could do that together while I have a chat with you about my day yesterday. Basically, if you watched last week's vlog, you will know that last night I was invited to do something very different for me. I assume I need to like chop the ends off. Oh, water. Fill a vase a third full. Change every 2 to 3 days. Add the enclosed flower food. Trim them all and then put them in there. Fine, I can do that. Where's the flower food? Got it. Oh, that's quite good. You get like multiple flower foods so you can change the water and it will like keep them alive for longer. About a week ago, Boots emailed Maria and I and asked if we wanted to go to the live recording of Love Island After Sun yesterday, and even the Boots girls yesterday like made fun of us for how fast we answered. We answered within about 3 minutes. We were like, yes, absolutely, see you there, thank you. Mixing the flower food in. I think they'll fit in this vase really well actually. Obviously I need to cut a little bit of the stems off. Yeah, occasionally doing social media for a job, you get like these really random opportunities to like have a little window into like worlds that you otherwise would never have had a glimpse into, and the idea of watching a live TV show be recorded was fascinating to me. So Maria and I were like, absolutely, see there. So that was last night, and so it's filmed out in Borehamwood, so like not a million miles away, but like not London. I don't think it's technically London, I could be wrong, sorry if I'm offending anyone. And it felt like such a residential area, and also what was really interesting was that our like name badges said BBC, even though it's an ITV show, and it was like a BBC studio that ITV were renting off them, which I thought was really interesting because you would assume that like because they're direct competitors they would be having none of that, but I guess for the right price maybe they do. Okay, that's step one. We've got the lilac snapdragons and the lilies in there. Pink snapdragons are next. Yeah, so it was quite cool. We got to see a lot of like famous faces and it was so interesting to see how the live TV element of things worked. Like there was one guy whose job it was literally just to like hype up the audience before it started and like tell us the rules that we had to follow. Obviously everyone had their phones and everything completely locked away. Like we literally couldn't even like film any covert little clips or anything. They were really hot on it. But we were right on the front row, so we were like properly close to the action. And then they showed us an advanced screening of that night's Love Island episode, because obviously After Sun comes on immediately after Love Island and we needed to have seen the episode to know what we would be like talking about and reacting to. Oh my god, look at these palm leaves. So that was cool, it felt very exclusive. And then yeah, all the like series regulars arrived and like the special Love Island guests and stuff. Loads of ex-Islanders and things like that. Sam Thompson to be like on the panel with Chris Taylor from Love Island and Amy Hart from Love Island, and then obviously Maya Jama was there because she presents it. She was just the most beautiful human I've ever seen in my life. She was actually flawless. Although one thing I did learn is that because it's obviously live, every 15 minutes when there's an ad break, they also break. And in that time, her like glam team absolutely descended on her. And there was like one person blotting her face with a sponge, someone else brushing her hair, someone else handing her like some cue cards to to tell her what she needed to be saying next, although most of it was on a teleprompter, so most of it was being like fed to her, and she had an earpiece in as well, but some of it was like a bit more off the cuff, so I think they were like talking points for her to sort of remember and try and weave in. I've done my flowers. It was so interesting and such a good like insight into something I would never normally get to see, which was so fun. And it finished really late because obviously it's on like 10 till 11 p.m. and then Sam Thompson, who was on the stage until, you know, 11 p.m. Like we were so tired this morning. He was on this morning or something this morning. He's booked and busy. But anyway, I'm actually gonna go and sit in a coffee shop and do some work today because, like I said, I've not had a very good morning and I just think I need to get out of the house. So I'm probably not going to vlog for the rest of the day. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a day off. I still have a whole goodie bag from the Boots team that I need to go through, so I'll do that with you guys tomorrow. Just a little reminder that if you are having a tough time, to give yourself a minute, because we're all human and we all have, like, there is only so much we can take, and sometimes you just need to take a deep breath, and that is me today. I'm going to take a deep breath and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. Not to brag, I'm definitely going to brag though. It is only just gone 9 o'clock and I've already done a food shop. Like, I got ready for the day except for my makeup. You can't tell now because my hair's frizzy because it's so humid outside. But I did get ready for the day apart from makeup. I went to try and pick up Charlie's prescription, but the pharmacy didn't open until later than I thought, so I had to kill some time. So I went to the supermarket and did a food shop and then picked up the prescription. And now it's 9:05 and I'm on the way home. Yesterday, I'm just drawing a line under, and today's a new day and I'm gonna sort my whole life out. Whenever I get myself into a little bit of a state like that, I just like freeze when it comes to like housework. So the flat's a mess, I'm gonna sort that out. Some of the girls are coming over today to do some work from mine, just to kind of keep each other company and sane. So that will be very nice, and it's a new day. I also bought myself a fun drink as a reward. I bought this Rubicon Spring Black Cherry Raspberry flavour. Oh my god, I've never had it before. It is delicious. It is a bit early in the day for fizzy drinks, but it tastes lovely. I love cherries. Yeah, doing the shopping and everything's lovely, but not if I go up to the flat and forget I've done it and leave it in the car. Clearly I am half asleep. Who wants a Sainsbury's haul? No one ever said these vlogs weren't exciting. First of all, I bought Charlie a lunchbox because he bought me flowers yesterday, and I've actually bought him flowers once or twice, but I thought this time I would go for something that's a little bit more long lasting, because obviously he now works in the office, so he's been using like my ratty Tupperware from when I was younger. So I think sometimes he'll need that Tupperware because it's like deeper, but we're trying to get a lot more organised, both of us are, with like food shops and stuff at the minute. So I thought this would be good because the sandwiches fit in here perfectly, and that means that they probably won't get squished, and squished sandwiches really upset me. I feel very strongly about it. So yeah, I got that. I'm going to wash that today and then he can use it tomorrow. I also got like some other bits that are kind of like, I got them with his packed lunches in mind, but I will also have them for lunch, which is quite good really because I think it gives me a bit of structure. But anyway, have you ever tried these Red Leicester mini cheddars? They are sensational. They're quite strong but really nice. I got a loaf of sliced multi-seed bread for sandwiches, and then also for sandwiches I got some cheese, some ham and some tuna. So you can do like cheese and ham sandwiches or just one or the other. And then I love a tuna mayo baguette. It's like one of my favourite lunches, and I hardly ever have it because I forget it exists. So I'm absolutely thrilled to have some tuna in the house. I also got my dad a birthday card because it's his birthday tomorrow, and I got some first class stamps so I can post that out now. And then I got some more bits for packed lunches. I got 2 sets of these Graze bars. When I went on that Stacker staycay a couple of weeks ago, they gave us all one of these sticky toffee Graze bars, and it was one of the best like little snack bars I've ever eaten. So I got some of those, and I also got some of the peanut butter ones to try because they sounded really good. Where's my phone actually? I want to see a picture of these. Gonna pop those on stories, spread the word. They are fantastic. I also really like, they do these like vanilla chocolate like flapjack type ones. They're really good too. And then I think the last thing I got for packed lunches was just some oranges because I'm really not eating enough like fruit and veg at the minute. So I just got some easy peelers. Then for dinner tonight we're gonna have a bolognese. So I got some mince, some chopped tomatoes, some tomato puree and some onions. And I remembered that I already have spaghetti in the cupboard, so I didn't buy any new spaghetti. And that may not sound like an achievement, but that for me is huge progress, because I assume I have nothing, and that's very rarely the case. And then I just got a couple of fun bits. For I think Thursday night I got this Pizza Express pizza dough, and it's like ready to roll and it makes 2 pizzas. I've never seen this before, but because we've got some tomato puree I thought I'll figure out the rest of the toppings on the day. But I just thought this could be a really fun like dinner idea, or maybe we'll do it Friday, end of the week vibes, because I swear the vibes are off this week. Like everyone I know is having an issue of some description. And then lastly I got some Milliccorners, because you can't go wrong. Normally we get the set that's the chocolate digestives and the banana flakes, but I really fancied the strawberry shortcake ones, so I went for these instead. And that is my haul. I really need to sort the fridge out, it is like overflowing. And I was bragging about remembering I had spaghetti, but I did forget to take a bag with me. Although I didn't really realise I was going to be doing a big shop like that. It's not my fault, is it? No. Right. I'm going to go and write in my dad's birthday card and quickly run that to the post box. And then I think by that point Jess will probably be here. Hello everyone. Sorry I just stopped dead in the middle of the vlog again yesterday. But it's Wednesday today and Jess is in my office and Maria is in my kitchen.
It's true.
And we are actually having probably the last ever Girlies IRL meeting, and I will fill you in a little bit about that in a bit, because we're just in the process of doing it now. But we're just basically trying to work out how to shut down a company, because that's just something that we don't know how to do. So stay tuned to work out.
It's going to be a learning process for us all, really.
It definitely is, but yeah, I'll go into it all in a bit. And for now we've all got lunch. Maria and Jess have both got it from that like gourmet range in Sainsbury's. What have you got, Maria?
Well, for my starter, I've got cucumber and hummus. And then for my main, I've got the sushi gourmet salmon poke bowl.
I bet you have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Jess, what have you got?
Well, if you've watched a previous vlog, if you're a true fan, you actually know what I've already got, because it's the same as the last time I was here for lunch. But for anyone new, or for anyone who doesn't have a good memory, it's the Japanese style teriyaki chicken and sticky rice.
Lovely.
But whenever I need to get a lunch from Sainsbury's when I'm at your house, this is what I always go for, and it's stunning every single time.
And I went a bit rogue today and I got, this isn't even from Sainsbury's, it's from like a random local cafe, but I'm absolutely obsessed with this salmon tarragon sandwich. It's in focaccia, so it's like garlicky, salty bread, and it's so good. So this is what I've got. And I also got a packet of salt and vinegar McCoy's crisps. And I'm probably going to have a cup of tea and biscuits as well. Yeah. I appear to have found another excuse to put gems on my face.
We love an excuse to put gems on our face.
How am I finding so many excuses this year? This is the 3rd time this year that I've had gems on my face.
It's the summer of gems.
Might have even been more. But like within the last like couple of months. I did Eras Tour, BST, and now this.
Well.
But anyway, what we're off to now is
I've got it on my screen.
You have? Your screen was like very bright.
Can you see Max? You could just about see an outline of Max.
Basically, we are going to like a Garnier Pride party that's being hosted by Max. You might know him, he's like a TikToker. So we're going to Sushi Samba.
I've never been to Sushi Samba before. I'm very excited.
Oh, you're very out of focus as well. There you go.
I'm very excited. I have not been to Sushi Samba in a long time.
I thought you'd never been.
No, I've never been.
She just lied to you. I did Bobby on the You literally said like 30 seconds ago I've never been.
I've been in a long time.
You're a liar, Maria. I know. Here we are at Sushi Samba. Apparently this is a very famous lift, so I'm told.
Yeah, it's great, we're moving.
That is a very nice lift.
Oh, God. It's very nice.
It's beautiful.
Out of 10.
Yeah, like probably at least a 7.
Oh, yeah.
I don't ever want to stop.
My ears are popped.
You can go back down.
How far does this go?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh my god, they can
Just shoots out the room.
By the way.
Guys.
Jesus Christ, it really,
Oh my god.
it really does. It really does go.
It does.
Jesus. Okay, now that yeah.
Whoa.
and we're here.
That was actually quite crazy.
Again.
We've come straight over to the bar to get a Diet Coke. That lift was fantastic. Max is interviewing his grandma, which is so cute. Give me that crisp Diet Coke. That looks like a good one.
To start off the night, I thought that my grandma would give a quick report to you all. 3, 2, 1, get right!
Good morning, guys. Okay, I'm gonna eat my breakfast now and we are gonna have a little chat about Girlies IRL. I've got some peanut butter on toast and I'm very pleased about it. I really fancied peanut butter this morning. So this is probably gonna be a little bit long-winded, but we put a statement out yesterday obviously saying that Girlies IRL is going to be closing and that our last event is going to be Mean Girls in September. And I just sort of thought I would chat to you guys about that because obviously I vlog every week, so you guys have seen a lot of the Girlies IRL stuff and you might have noticed that within the last few weeks there's not really been any of that. So let me go back to the beginning. Basically, if you don't know what I'm talking about, me and 4 of my best friends run an events company called Girlies IRL, or we did. Technically we still do until September. Basically about, well, over a year ago now, I don't know when, let me go right back to the beginning because I don't know where you guys are picking this up from. Basically, we are a group of friends who all met through Instagram, like online, and we all do social media as a job, so we kind of are each other's colleagues as well. But basically I was gonna say we do a lot of trips together, but like actually lately we haven't, and this is kind of part of it. We used to do a lot of like holidays together, events, like we'd have like big birthday parties all together and do silly themes and stuff like that. And because of that, we would get messages all the time from people asking, you know, how we met each other, saying that we were sort of friendship goals and that they wanted to be a part of the gang, or kind of asking for advice on how to make friendships as an adult. Because I think what we have that a lot of people kind of look at and found like inspiring in a way is the fact that we didn't meet at school, or we didn't know each other from, you know, being really young. We all met in our 20s. We never really knew how to answer that question because obviously we'd all met online, and the way that we'd done that is because we all had a following. So we sort of found ourselves following each other and then interacting with each other's posts and then interacting in DMs and blah blah blah, and then we'd like go to the same events, and we kind of all like merged that way. Whereas I know that if you don't do this for a job, like that exact pipeline isn't really doable. So we never really knew what to say to those people that could be like actually constructive. And then I actually had the idea, so I'll take the credit, to set up a Facebook group, because the thought process was that if we were getting a lot of those messages and a lot of people were having a similar issue, then they would be able to solve that issue for one another. So we set up this Facebook group with the intention of it being for our followers, to like meet each other and chat and make new friends. Very quickly that Facebook group had a much bigger reception than we were expecting. I can't remember the numbers, but it had thousands of people joining in the first day and we really weren't expecting that at all. And off the back of that, a lot of people were talking about arranging meetups and things like that. You know, I was gonna say young girl, you can decide if I'm young, but I am a girl, and I know that it can be really daunting to walk into a unknown environment and meet people that you don't know on your own, you know, particularly because these were people from the internet. Like obviously there are certain things that you do to kind of safeguard yourself from anything going wrong, but you never really know. And so seeing all these people talking about meeting up, we were kind of looking at it going, that is so lovely, but I wish there was like something that we could do for them that would make it a really safe space for them to do that. And then we kind of went, oh, well, I guess we could, but the problem was that everyone was so spread out, because obviously it wasn't coming from like one local area, it was coming from our Instagram followers who are predominantly UK based, and most people in the group were from the UK by a long shot, but like they were very spread out across the UK. So we basically then decided to put on this pottery tour, and we visited 9 different places in the UK. We went all the way up to, what was the highest up we went? I think it was Durham, the highest up, maybe? I think so. And we went all the way down to Bournemouth, like fully, you know, England wide really. And it was so lovely, and the 5 of us travelled around and we stayed in Airbnbs, but my god, it was expensive. Obviously the cost of the pottery itself, we made sure to work with small businesses, and we didn't get any kind of discounts from them or anything because of being influencers. I think that was like what a lot of them thought we were asking for when we first got in touch, but that was never the plan at all. Like, obviously we wanted to make sure that they were being paid fairly as well, and so we had quite a lot of people being quite rude to us when we first started inquiring, and a lot of people saying we didn't mention the fact that we were influencers at all in the first emails because it wasn't really relevant. Like, we were just asking about whether we could do exclusive hire of the venue and how much it would cost and what the price was for pottery, basically. And a lot of the people would come back and say, we know you're influencers, because they'd obviously googled my name or whatever because it was on the email. And I said, well, that's fine, but that's a separate thing, you know, can you give me your rates? But to be honest, like, we really chose the places based on vibes, and we really wanted to work with like the small businesses that had really good energy and seemed really excited to like bring local women together. So that is what we did. And actually, even after we announced the pottery painting tour, we had a lot of pottery places who had ignored our initial emails messaging us to ask if we could book in with them as well. And it was just quite funny, and I think it's kind of like a lesson in giving people the benefit of the doubt and not assuming the worst, because I like to think that we are actually quite nice people and we were never trying to underhand anyone at all. So there was the cost of the pottery, and also there are 5 of us, so we had to take 2 cars, and we couldn't take the train because we had too much stuff and there were goodie bags involved and stuff like that. And also because a lot of the places were in like areas that weren't particularly easily accessible by train, and then we were also staying in like Airbnbs. I think it was just Airbnbs then. We've stayed in some travel lodges since, but like that weren't completely accessible by train as well. So like train was a no-go, plus train is actually often more expensive than a car if you've got multiple people in that car, you know. Oh my god, I'm so sorry if you can hear all the noise, it's so noisy in here today. It's the neighbours. God, I'm really giving you like the ins and outs here, aren't I? But basically we put this pottery painting tour on, and our plan was never to make any profit, and trust me, we didn't. I think actually the pottery tour made a loss to begin with because we'd put some money into the business that we'd set up, like to get it off the ground and to be able to make deposits and stuff. But we didn't mind because we weren't doing it to make money at all. It was literally just for fun. But it did take up pretty much the whole of July last year, and I think that is something that we all then felt really affected our work. So we tried to kind of restructure it a little bit, and we did a couple of events in London after that. That being said, like, we had the best time, and I would have loved to do another pottery tour like that where we go to so many different places, because it was just so lovely to go to people's like local areas and to get all their like recommendations of things that we could do, although we never really had time to like actually run around and see the place because we had to move on to the next pottery place. Like, we were often driving through the night. We would get back at like 4 AM some days and stuff, because a lot of the pottery events were in the evenings because the pottery painting places couldn't do exclusive hire over the weekends. So there was a lot of like moving parts, but it's okay because we really loved doing it and we were having a great time. And like I said, this was never supposed to be for profit, but also particularly because we were taking time out of our own jobs to do it, we obviously needed to make sure that the ticket sales would at least cover our costs. And anything that it went over that, not from pottery, but from any event after that, went straight into like deposits and things for the next event and trying to make that viable, keeping costs down for everyone where we could. You know, this is never something that we intended to take any profit from, and we haven't. We then did a couple of events in collaboration with MAC in London, which was great because people were really asking for a London event, but putting London events on were cheaper in the fact that 3 of us live in London, so like the other 2 could stay at our houses, and obviously the accommodation costs were nothing. But London venues, we're talking like 5 figures to rent out a London venue for 2 hours, and like that venue would maybe hold 100 people, and we were just looking at it and thinking, this is not a cost that we're happy to pass on to you lot. Like, we can't pay for that party outright ourselves, but like it wasn't feasible when it came to like ticket prices. And so we were then approached by MAC, who have a space above their Carnaby Street store. So there were running costs of those events still, because obviously we had activities running and platform fees and transport for the girls that don't live in London and things like that. Like, there was still running costs, which is why the tickets were not free, but and like platform fees and stuff to host the like our website and stuff like that, you know, like the boring runnings of a business. But like MAC really helped us out with that, and they were the only London events, as for then that we were able to do. And we had a great time. We did one where we had like a confidence masterclass, and we had a lovely Mac Pro artist, Cheska, who was so nice. We had her at all of our events. We actually did 3 there, 2 on one day and then 1 another day. And we did some biscuit decorating, which was so fun. And then later last year for Christmas, we did another one with Mac where we did some bauble decorating, and we had like a festive party makeup look, and some like icebreakers and games and stuff like that, and it was really good fun, a really good way for people to like come together again in a safe space, which is what we wanted. And then we started talking to Malibu about doing a brunch tour in collaboration with Malibu for Galentine's Day, and that was probably our most successful kind of event stint, because there were 4 of them in 4 major cities. So we did London, Cardiff, Manchester and Edinburgh. So it was the first time that we were able to go to Wales and to Scotland, and oh my god, we were so excited. The girlies in the Facebook group had been absolutely crying out for us to go to Wales and to Scotland since we started, and so we wouldn't have been able to make that possible had it not been for the help of Malibu, because of how expensive it is to get to those places, particularly up to Edinburgh. Like going up to Edinburgh for 5 people, you know, it costs a lot of money. And so Malibu supported us with that, and with that we were able to keep the ticket prices right down, like we always tried to, you know. They were in line with what Slug and Lettuce were typically charged for a bottomless brunch, which was amazing. Like that was the goal, and we managed to achieve it, so we were so proud of ourselves. And also it was so fun having like a collaboration like that with Malibu and with the new Mean Girls movie, and we had so much fun traveling up and down the country. But you'll know from watching these vlogs that there have been a lot of changes going on in my life this year. And for all of the 5 of us that run this company, we've had other things going on behind the scenes that have already been taking away from our like jobs and our balance. And I've been very emotionally volatile to say the least. I'm not speaking for any of the other girls. But when we then started putting tours into the mix and things like that, it really highlighted to us how little time we were then able to do our own thing. Because the thing is, we didn't have drivers or anything like that, and like I said, we were driving ourselves around. So doing a brunch in, for example, Manchester and Edinburgh, we left on the Friday, we did I think it ended up being about a 6-hour drive to Manchester, stayed overnight in Manchester, did the Manchester brunch, like turn up early to set up the brunch, put the brunch on, left the brunch the second it finished. Like we left some of the girls there to like carry on enjoying themselves, but we left, drove straight up to Edinburgh, got to Edinburgh quite late at night, stayed overnight, put on a brunch again the next day, which is so much fun, but it's a lot of social battery. And then we got back in the car and drove back down to London, and we got back to London at like 1 or 2 a.m. and that was on the Sunday night. So like that had been the weekend, so it had taken up like most of Friday, but then by the time we got back we hadn't had a weekend, so we were absolutely exhausted, and we'd done all that driving and all that socializing, and it just meant that like all of us felt absolutely out for the count for like the next few days, which is such a shame because we loved doing it. So then we tried a few other things. We tried to make the sort of stints of events smaller. We did a couple of pottery events, one in Norfolk, one in East Sussex, in Lewes. And we also trialled out us not being at all of the events to try and see if that could help us find a little bit of balance, and it did help, definitely. Sorry, just jumping in because I've just realised that I kind of misspoke there. I don't mean we tried none of us being at the events. I mean we trialled different events with some of us having 3 or 2 of us there, so that we could kind of split our time a little bit more wisely and spread the kind of workload of it a bit better. We were sort of finding that every time we were hanging out as a group, rather than enjoying our time as friends, even if it was an accident, it would always turn into a business meeting, and like trying to solve this problem of how we can justify spending the time and taking the time out of other things for something that doesn't pay us and that we never really intended to pay us. And then I decided to start up the theatre club side of things, which I've talked about on here before, but I've always wanted to do that because I know I speak to so many people in my DMs. Obviously I talk about theatre a lot, musical theatre particularly, and I speak to a lot of people in my DMs who say that they would love to go and see things, but they don't have anyone to go with and they don't feel confident enough to go on their own. And I thought actually that's a really nice tie-in, so we added the theatre club onto Girlies IRL, and we went to see Wicked first, and then we went to see Heather's, and then obviously we've also booked in Mean Girls. Theatre is something that is obviously so close to my heart anyway, and maybe some sort of social club surrounding theatre is something that I would consider like re-picking up at some point. Not right now because I've got too much on my plate, and it, you know, it wouldn't be Girlies IRL. I don't know, I haven't really thought much about it, to be honest, but the theatre club side of things was so much fun, and it was all so much fun. Like, it was so rewarding, and getting to chat to everyone was so lovely. Like, before we ever put an event on, we were so nervous because obviously it's a room full of strangers, and that's a room that we kind of are in charge of, and that always felt very like, oh, I'm not qualified for this. But we had a great time, the feedback was always so great, and like, we held ourselves to a really high standard. But as you guys know, the cost of living crisis is very severe, and the price of everything just keeps going up and up. And like, you know, it used to be that you could get a room in a hotel for like £30 if it was like a bit of a rubbish hotel or whatever, and it was like slightly out of the city. Like, we don't care, we're not snobby about that. We just wanted to try and not pass all those costs on to everyone, and that doesn't even seem to really exist anymore. Like, we were finding that we were having to pay out close to 4 figures to put 5 of us in any hotel for one night in a lot of these cities, because we go to major cities. And so it was just kind of, we were looking at it as like a problem. We couldn't really figure it out, and we have a lot of other stuff on our plates as well, and we just sort of thought, let's put this on hiatus for a minute. So, which is why it kind of went quiet, because we decided to put it to one side for a few months and pick it back up once we'd had a bit of a refresh. But then basically I think we just kind of all felt such a sigh of relief. We were doing weekly meetings, I was planning a mini golf tour, like we had, it takes a lot. I think I definitely didn't realise how much it would take to put events on, and I don't think any of us did, and we had a fantastic time, and I cannot emphasise how much I am so proud of what we created, and we loved it. But then when we were kind of talking about this hiatus, we sort of realised that actually what we were going to have to do was try and like restructure the whole thing, and maybe sacrifice some of the kind of quality of event that we'd, you know, really taken a lot of pride in, and that wasn't really something that we felt comfortable doing. And so it felt a little bit like a catch-22, and in the end we kind of came to the decision that we did it for a year. We met hundreds of people. We met, I think, about 800 in the end. We visited, I think it was 13 different cities. We put 25 events on over the space of a year. You know, that's averaging one every other week. It didn't work out like that because some of them were much closer together, but you know, so you can see kind of how much we were pouring into it, and oh my god, we were like pouring our whole selves into this, and we loved it, but also it can't go on forever. And so I think rather than kind of dragging it out and letting things like slip in quality until we decided to jack it in, we said, look, let's look back on this fondly, let's draw a line under it now so that none of us have to stress, and we can look back at what we did and be proud of ourselves and be grateful for everything that we experienced and we achieved, and move on to new projects. And yeah, like, all good things must come to an end. And I think we were worried that everyone, finally, whoever was hoovering, I think it was hoovering upstairs, has stopped. I don't know if you've been able to hear that the whole time, but I have for like the whole time I've been talking. There is absolutely no like drama, it's not very juicy, sorry, but I also think this kind of side of stuff is interesting. I think you don't often get to hear about like the inner workings of stuff like that. So I just wanted to be kind of transparent with you guys and tell you actually kind of what happened, because nothing really went wrong. We've kind of chosen to walk away from it before anything went wrong, if you see what I mean. But yeah, thank you so much. If you came to a Girlies IRL event, thank you so much. Or if you just followed the socials, thank you so much for all of your support. Honestly, we had the best year, and now we need to figure out how to liquidate a company, which by the way is not as easy as it sounds, I was gonna say, but it doesn't sound very easy either. I don't know, I assumed it would be simpler than it was. But anyway, so we're dealing with all the admin of that now, and it's sad, you know, the end of an era is always sad, but we're all good, and it genuinely feels like the best decision for us and for all of you, because we don't want to be putting on overpriced events with less quality, and we don't want to be putting things on that we don't feel 100% into ourselves, you know. So yeah, that is Girlies IRL explained. Anyway, I'm gonna do some cleaning now. I actually am. I've been saying it all week, but I'm actually doing it now. Good morning, everyone. You join me as I'm just about to do my makeup because I've got a lot of filming to do today. Oh my god, I'm nearly at the end of this product. Since I've been decluttering my house, there is genuinely nothing more satisfying to me than getting to the bottom of a jar or a tube of a product. Because I already know that I'm basically on a ban from buying new things, although because of obviously doing all of this, I do still get sent quite a lot of stuff, so it doesn't necessarily completely solve the problem of having too much stuff, but it does make it better that I'm not adding to that pile myself. Obviously, I'm very grateful for everything that I get sent, but when you are trying to declutter, it can sometimes feel a little bit at odds with that mission. But yeah, so every time I finish a product, I'm like, yes, one down. But this one actually is really good. I did an ad for this on my beauty YouTube channel. So before I did these vlogs, I used to have a YouTube channel that was specifically for beauty reviews. And like, it's still up, you can watch it if you want. And it kind of like bridged a bit of a gap for me because I've always loved YouTube and I've always wanted to do YouTube, but I was always too scared to like kind of put myself out there. So doing it in that way felt like a bit of a middle ground where like I could still have my fun on the platform. But basically over on that channel earlier this year, I worked with this brand called Face Facts to trial this moisturiser, and I always say to anyone that I work with on that channel that, you know, they're not buying a positive review, they're just buying a review. And I don't do a lot of ads on that channel because first of all I barely use it, but also, wow, I look like a crazy woman. Charlie just called me, but I think he's gonna call me back in a minute. But basically, yeah, whenever I worked with brands on that channel, I always said to them, like, obviously just because this is like a sponsored video, the sponsorship just brings awareness to the product. My actual like opinions on the product will still be my genuine opinions, and sometimes that put brands off, which I always thought was a huge red flag. I understand why they wouldn't want to pay for a negative review, but also if you don't have the confidence in your product, it's not looking good, you know. But so I worked with that brand, Face Facts, and I was particularly intrigued by them because that moisturiser cost like, I can't remember how much exactly, but it was about £3 in B&M, and that was what they really wanted me to push, and I was like, well, that's really interesting. And oh my god, for £3 it's so good, it's so worth the money. There's like a fragrance or a non-fragrance version. I got the fragrance version and it is called the Wonder Cream, I think. Yeah, Wonder Cream Instant Glow Reviver. If you watched the review, you will know that like my review of it was that ultimately it could be more hydrating, but since then I've been using it just as my daytime moisturiser, not as my nighttime moisturiser, and particularly just before I put my makeup on as like a primer, and it just gives the best like blank canvas kind of soft smooth texture to put makeup on top of. So I'm actually kind of gutted that it is nearly finished because I mean I would definitely buy a new one for like £3 something, like that's a no-brainer, but I have banned myself from buying anything, so I won't be just yet, not until I've got through a few more of my products. But yeah, if you're looking for like, if you don't have super dry skin but you're looking for a moisturiser that is like very cheap and cheerful and does like a really nice job, particularly under makeup, would highly recommend getting some of this, the Face Facts Wonder Cream from B&M. And this obviously isn't an ad, they don't know I'm talking about it because they don't know I've just finished it, but yeah. And he's back. Okay, I want to know what order you do your makeup routine in, because I found out the other day that my sister does her brows last, and that absolutely blew my mind. I know a lot of people do like their eye makeup first, which does make sense because obviously then if like you make a mess, your sort of face makeup can help sort it out. Sorry, the camera just died, so I had to get a new battery out. Yeah, I've always done like face makeup, then brows, then I actually sometimes do like lipstick, and then I leave my eyes till last. And I think it's because I sometimes do fairly like elaborate eyes. Maybe not so much anymore, well sometimes, but you know, like in 2016 when The Thing was like really full on eye makeup with like thick eyeliner and stuff. I feel like maybe it was even before 2016, maybe it was more like oh it was before yeah, like 2014, 2015, I used to do like massive eye makeup like every day. And I think it's probably because I am like chronically running late and I do not know how I do it. Like if I have 15 minutes to get ready, it will take me 25. If I have 2 hours to get ready, it will take me 2 hours 15. Like I could not tell you how I manage it. I think I just get distracted. So I think I sort of do it in order of like necessity. So if I really ran out of time, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Like if I went out with like really heavy eye makeup on but then no face makeup, I would look like a clown. Whereas I've now got like obviously face and brows on and no mouth. But if I just put like lipstick and mascara on right now, even if I knew that I'd been running behind and I hadn't finished my makeup, it wouldn't really be that noticeable to other people. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I always do my makeup this way around, but maybe it's just to stop me from running late. Oh my god, look how tiny my lipstick is now. I do have another one of this somewhere. They've changed the packaging. This is the Clinique Pop Matte Lip Colour and Primer in the shade 01 Blushing Pop. They brought these out while I was still working there and immediately I was like, oh my god, I love that one so much. And I've literally worn it ever since. It is the perfect like my lips but better shade. Also, this is a really weird thing to say, but the other day I noticed that it's almost the exact same colour as my tongue. And now I'm wondering if there's any science behind that. I noticed it when I was in the passenger seat of a car and I had like the mirror down and I just kept looking at myself and going like, to be like, god yeah, it's the same colour as my tongue actually. Do you see what I mean? Do you think there's something in that? Is your perfect lipstick shade the colour of your tongue? Because I think mine is. Tea and biscuits, tea and biscuits. What mug should I use today? I want a big one. I want a big cup of tea. I'm gonna use my Disney World mug. This is the Magic Kingdom mug and I'm really hoping that next time I go back I can get a different park and then I'm gonna collect them all, but I only want to get one per trip. I used to go to Disney World all the time. Like when I was at uni, I would literally just spend my student loan on trips to Disney World. I also did have 3 jobs. Everybody always talks about being really hard up for money at uni, but I didn't go to uni very much. So I spent all my time working and I was getting student loans. So like actually my time at uni was probably like the most financially free time of my life so far. And so, I've got a cup of tea, I would literally spend my student loan going to Disney World. And like I missed my graduation because I didn't want to go and I went to Disney World instead. And I loved it. Like, I don't know, I don't see myself as a Disney adult. Maybe that's not true, but also I don't think there's anything wrong with being enthusiastic about the things you enjoy. But I don't necessarily like watch loads of Disney films or anything like that. I just love the parks, like, and I love the like escapism of it all and just going and there being like loads of entertainment, loads of stuff to do, like everything's just fun. You get to spend like fun time with the people that you're there with. And I used to go like every year and then the pandemic happened and I hadn't been since until earlier this year, and so I'd kind of stopped like craving it. Like I was really excited to go but it wasn't on my like, oh can't wait for this year's trip to Disney, because I hadn't had one in ages. Now that we've been, oh my god, I need to go back. Like we went to Disneyland Paris in November and then we went to Disney World in April, and like April/May, and I'm like, when's the next one? Like, I'll take Paris, that's fine, but like, when am I going? And the answer is not anytime soon, because they're so expensive and everything's really expensive at the minute, and like, I'm not realistically going anytime soon. But I am desperate, so we're drinking tea out of the Magic Kingdom mug. And while that is brewing, I thought we could go through the Love Island Beauty Box of the Year. This is from Boots. Oh, it says it's under strict embargo until the 26th of July. Today's the 26th of July, which means for you it's even later, so I am allowed to talk about this. I'm so glad I read that just before I started talking. So basically, in this box, they do one every year now, and if you don't know, Boots are the beauty sponsor of Love Island. I think I said that earlier in this video, but they like pay attention to what the islanders are using every year, and then they put some of their faves into a box and they really discount the price of the product. So this one costs £50. It's available on the website now. I'll put a link in the description, and you get over £220 worth of Villa stocked beauty products. And and there's a lot in here. I can see a list here. I'm not going to read them because I'm going to go through them in the box, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 of these products are full size, and then you also get a load of sample sizes to try. And I just think this is a really good way to like introduce yourself to like trending beauty products without having to pay full price, because you never know, you might find yourself a new fave. So let's see what's in here. I'm definitely going to film this for TikTok after this, so if you see it on TikTok and I'm acting shocked, keep your mouth shut. Okay, oh, what is this? Lancaster Sun Beauty Face Cream, SPF 30. So a little bit of sun cream. I've never seen that brand before. Oh, Benefit Mascara. I didn't even know they had a new mascara. Is this new? Benefit Fan Fest. I actually have just finished a little tester size of the Benefit, oh, which one is it? I can't remember. One of the Benefit mascaras, and I loved it. Or maybe it was Bad Girl Bang. It's not Roller Lash. Do they have another one? I'm not sure. But they do. They have this. I didn't even know they had this. And I need a new mascara. So this is going to be my next mascara. Let's have a look at the brush. Oh, that is a satisfying packaging. It's very like textured. I love Benefit mascaras. They're so like impactful. Ooh, that's a very different shape to the other Benefit mascara brushes. I'm not even going to put it away. I'm just going to put it straight in my makeup bag. Oh, the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I actually just watched a Molly May video and she was talking about some Laneige stuff. Is it Laneige? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Laneige? I'm going to stop trying. But my lips have been really dry lately, so I'm going to put this next to my bed. This Nourishing Overnight Lip Mask is enriched with berry fruit complex, vitamin C and coconut oil to leave lips soft and visibly smooth. Maybe they need it in the villa for all that kissing. You know what? Watching them kiss, it really cringes me out. Why does it always go on for so long? Why is it always so sloppy? Like, they're allowed to do what they like, but please, I don't want to watch it. Then I've got a Shiseido, ooh, Vital Perfection Uplifting and Firming Express Eye Mask. That sounds lovely, like a little weekend treat. Some Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream. Oh, annoyingly, this isn't one of the full-size products. This is a mini. I have never owned Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream, right? But so many people around me own it. And I don't know why I don't just buy it, because every time someone, like, gets it out, you can use this stuff for everything. You can use it for, like, your face, you can use it for lips, you can I know a lot of people who use it for like elbows, for fake tan, because obviously like your elbows get a bit dry. There's a man walking along outside who is like really staring at me. So you've never seen anyone talk to a camera before. Yeah, I always use other people's of this whenever they offer it to me, and I'm always like, oh, this is so luxurious, such a treat, and then I never get it for myself, and I don't know why, because it is a lovely product. So at least now I've got a little mini. Of course, we've got the Philip Kingsley, oh, this isn't Elasticizer, this is Styler 5-in-1 treatment. Is that different then? Oh my god, it is. This is for after it's washed. That's really interesting. You guys know I use my Philip Kingsley Elasticizer all the time, so I'm going to try this next time I use it, because I love that stuff. Okay, and number 7, Derm Solutions 100-hour hydration cream. That sounds lovely. Number 7 is just so reliable. I didn't realise for ages that it is owned by Boots, I think. Oh, anti-chafe stick, First Aid Beauty. Now that is a lifesaver. I'm so sorry. Grown Alchemist Natural Hydrating Sunscreen, SPF 30. We've got another sunscreen in here. Oh my god, I've just realised I forgot to put SPF on today. Dickhead. I've been doing so well at remembering. I've really been making an active effort since I went to that like SPF event the other week. I talked to you guys about it. Ever since then I've been really on it, and today I've forgotten. That's so annoying. It's because I did my makeup later in the day. Then we've got an Origins, a little teeny weeny refreshing eye cream. That's so cute. I've never tried anything from Origins. The Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum Cream. Or is it, I think I'm actually supposed to say Boom 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 Cream. I think. I'm absolutely butchering the pronunciation of all of these today, sorry. I'm not going to open this right now because I've already got one open. The smell of this stuff is like summer in a pot. Buzzing about that. What's next? God, this box really does just keep going. A Soap and Glory lipstick in the shade Candy Attitude, so that looks like a nice kind of pinky nude. We've got a number 7 eyeshadow trio, a mini Fenty Beauty Fenty Glow gloss thing. I already have this and I love it, so having a little mini will always come in handy. Oh my god, I've wanted to try this, the Soap and Glory Fresh as Fig body butter. I'm gonna get through my tub of Bum Bum cream first, but then we'll be moving straight onto this. I'm really bad at remembering to moisturize my body, you know, like I'm quite lucky I don't get particularly dry skin, so if I don't do it I am just fine, but then when I do it I'm like, oh my god, my skin feels so stunning, this is lovely. And also obviously it makes your fake tan way better, so I do need to try and like remember to incorporate it into my routine. We've also got an Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I swear whenever Boots do one of these like value kind of boxes, these are always in there, and I mean I'm not complaining because it is a really good product. Another mascara, a Morphe mascara. I've never tried anything by Morphe. This is the Morphe Make It Big Volumizing Mascara. That looks like full size. Is that full size? Yes, it is. Both of the mascaras are full size. That is very good. And then I believe the last thing in this box is the oh my god, I'm really struggling with words today. Laura Mercier Translucent Pure Setting Spray 16 Hour. I've never tried that. I used to work on a beauty counter, as I've mentioned, and the Laura Mercier counter was like just over the way from me, and they used to have this creme brulee body butter, and I used to just sniff it every single time I walked past. It was like an obsession. It was so good. I don't know if they still do it, and I've never owned it. I just loved sniffing it. The same with Chanel. I used to have a beauty counter right opposite me as well, and they had this like really like gel kind of formula moisturizer. It was so like light and it smelled of pear, and it took me ages to work out what the scent was, but I loved that as well. So, you know, if anyone has ever wondered why my career at Clinique was so short-lived, it's probably because I run around sniffing all the other products instead of focusing on what I was meant to be doing. I'm joking, I didn't get fired or anything. I quit because I was also working at the theatre as well, and I was also tutoring, and my tutoring stuff was really starting to like take up a lot more of my time, and so one of them had to go, and Clinique was like the least flexible of the lot because the theatre was mostly evenings, and that was 0 hours, and then the tutoring stuff was self-employed, so Clinique was the first to go. Nobody asked, but I just wanted to tell you that I didn't get fired for sniffing everything. Right, now it's time for me to find some biscuits for my tea and biscuits. I'm going through a really aggressive tea and biscuit phase, guys. I've either got ginger nut biscuits, which again I'm really going through a phase of, but I had some of those yesterday, so I think I'm going to go for custard creams today, just in case you're wondering. I'm sure you were. About 2 weeks after it arrived, we are finally going to go through this next order. Basically, I am trying to switch things up a little bit. We know that I'm not trying to bring loads of new stuff into my house, but I've really noticed that recently I am either like very, very scruffily dressed, like for the house, pajama vibes, you know, oversized hoodies, etc. Or I'm like really quite dressed up in a way that is not very comfortable. And so I think in order to get my wardrobe actually down to a better size, I need to find a few pieces that sit somewhere in the middle of those things. So like I'm comfortable wearing them and they go with a lot of other stuff, but they don't look too scruffy to leave the house in, because that is a balance I've not got down very well at the moment. So I have actually already opened one of these parcels because I got out a denim skirt that is currently in the wash, so I can't show you, but I'm going to put a picture in here that I wore to that Garnier Pride party earlier this week, and I loved it. It is exactly the sort of thing I'm after, because it's like casual-ish, but you can really dress it up. It's got like quite a defined style to it, and it's also like interesting but still goes with a lot of stuff. So that's really kind of the vibe that I'm going for here. So I actually can't remember what I bought because I bought this like 2 weeks ago, and Next had loads of really nice stuff, so I ended up like putting loads in my basket and then taking enough out that it felt like a not obscene amount of money to spend. Oh my god, I forgot about this. Well, actually I think this was the thing I was most excited about. It's more see-through than I thought it would be, but I've got this like kind of, I realised that I only have one cardigan and it's really scruffy, so I wanted to get something that I can like chuck on that is like cardigan sort of texture. And actually this is even more cardigan-y than I thought, but it has actually got holes in it, so I need to be careful about what underwear I'd wear. But I really like this. I'm going to try it on. I've put a black bodysuit underneath, so I don't flash any of you, but I really, really like this. I sized up to an XXL because of the buttons. Everything always gapes around the chest area, and I've just reached a point in my life where if it gapes, I'm not keeping it. I used to anyway go, oh, no one will notice, and then I'd spend all night going like this. But actually this doesn't gape. I think I'm like paranoid about it, but it doesn't. I probably wouldn't wear it with the black underneath. I'd just wear like a white bra, but I love the collar, I love the stripes. I just think it's very like put together, but without feeling like too much effort. I love wearing blue, and it is very different to everything else I own. So big fan of this one. I don't really know why I'm trying it on sat down, but I just can't be bothered to move the camera, so here we are. But yeah, I like it. I think I could wear it with like a little white skirt, or I could wear it with like jeans maybe, although I don't really wear a lot of jeans. But even just like my black wide leg trousers, like most things would look fine with this, and it just kind of makes me look a bit more presentable than a t-shirt. I just wear a lot of t-shirts, and I want a few things that are like a little bit more interesting and slightly dressier as well. Okay, what's next? So then I got this striped top in like a cream and navy. It's kind of like a gives me sailor vibes, and I bought this with the denim skirt in mind. I just thought this with a little denim skirt could be a really cute outfit. Now that I've got it, I'm actually not too sure. I don't tend to wear things that are off-white. I'm very much like a white, bright white kind of gal. And also I recently put my other stripy top on Vinted because I didn't think it suited me, so I really don't know why I bought this. I think I want to like it on me, but actually in reality it doesn't quite work, so I'm not going to try this on and risk getting makeup all over it. I'm just going to send it back. But something I did get that is actually quite similar to this one, so I'm not sure if I'll keep them both, but I really had my heart set on like a little collared top. And actually I find a lot of really nice shirts and jumpers and stuff in the men's section. So I got another one from the men's section in this like neutral colourway, and I really like it. I'm not sure if the colours suit me particularly, but I just think to chuck this on, hang on, let me try it on. Okay, I've made the effort to move the camera with this one, because obviously this isn't the outfit I would wear this with, but I think I'd more likely wear this one open. So it is actually quite different to the other one, because the other one I think has to be done up to give that like smart look, whereas this one you can kind of chuck on over things. And basically I've got this little tan skirt that I absolutely love. I find it really difficult to wear in the summer, because in the winter I wear it with like tights and loafers and like a long sleeve black top, and I've been trying to figure out how I can wear it in the summer, and I just think that with like a little white top on underneath and then this would look like really put together. It's low effort, it's comfy, or even just with like denim shorts and a little white top underneath. Yeah, I think I've talked myself into this. I do really like this. Just trying to think outside the box a little bit. So yeah, this is from the men's section. Always check the men's section, they have some good stuff. Then my hunt for the perfect t-shirt dress continued. If you can remember this, I think I talked about it before. This is obviously a t-shirt dress. It is a perfect length. I love the length of it. Not too sure on the sleeves, but basically what I'm really after is a very heavyweight cream t-shirt dress. Obviously this isn't cream. I thought I would maybe sacrifice the colour if it was the right fabric, but I don't think it is. I want it to have like t-shirt sleeves like this, but slightly wider, so it doesn't feel like it's stuck to my shoulders. And I just want it so I can chuck it on, not think too much about it, wear some sandals and a chunky bag and some sunglasses, and look, yeah, like put together, like I know what I'm doing. Neutral queen. Obviously it's not neutral this one because it's blue, but this is definitely closer than the ones I got from ASOS a few weeks ago. But it's still not quite right, so I think this one's going to have to go back. And then the last thing I bought is these green shorts. Hold on, let me lower the camera a little bit so you can see. Any better? Basically, they've got this like scalloped edge, which I really like. I think it's a really nice like little touch. And I'm quite into my bright colours at the minute. But is it the wrong time of year to be like acquiring new shorts? I just feel like we've not really had a summer, so I'm like craving wearing really summery clothes. But do we have much longer of like nice weather left? I'm not sure. They are a very nice like soft material for holiday. But I'm not going on holiday. Or just like for hot weather. But I don't know if I'm going to have any hot weather. Okay, the jury's out on these. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. It's dinner time and I'm smug because I remembered that the Sainsbury's dine in for 2 for £12 deal exists. And we needed a quick dinner tonight because we're going to the cinema to watch Deadpool vs Wolverine, which Charlie's very excited about. And I'm also actually quite excited about, although I have seen the first Deadpool movie, but I've never seen anything with Wolverine in it. So to me, Hugh Jackman is Jean Valjean from Les Mis. But I'm excited to see him with claws or something. Today we have gone for the lasagna, dining for 2 beef lasagna, and then for the side I got a garlic bread, and then I also got some salad to try and, you know, be healthy or whatever, and then I got some sticky toffee pudding and 4 glass bottles of crisp Diet Coke, and I'm very excited about that. Dinner is served. Presentation not the best, but Charlie did put a bit of grated cheese on the garlic bread and I think that's the best idea he's maybe ever had.
Excuse me.
That was a compliment. What have you got to say for yourself? I don't think you've been in the vlog yet this week.
Hello. My name's Charlie. We're going to see Deadpool vs Wolverine.
We are? Are you excited?
I am actually.
Good.
I'm very tired.
It's been a long week. Good morning, it is Saturday today and I have just made some absolutely banging bacon rolls, and the plan today was to have a really chilled day, but I actually woke up quite early feeling like I wanted to get stuff done, so I was like, oh, I'll film a couple of declutters or something. Spun the wheel, it came up with a laundry cupboard, which is the worst possible cupboard it could have said. God knows what is in there, but I suppose at least it's come up on a day when I've got time to actually do it, so I'm obviously going to film it for TikTok, but I'll show you what we're working with. Okay, so this is the laundry cupboard. It is a double cupboard and it is also a safety hazard. So it's called the laundry cupboard because the washing machine is there. But if we open this door up, there is a lot more in it than just the washing machine. So the time is now 5 PM, pretty much on the dot. I've been doing a lot more cleaning today, so I'm starting this way later than I thought I was going to. But I will see you when it's done and we'll find out how long it took me. Wish me luck. Guys, that took so long. It's literally been like nearly 24 hours. It's 3:30 PM on Sunday now. So I need to get this video edited. I've already done most of it, but I haven't done the bits from this weekend, so I can post it tonight. That was hell, actually, that cupboard. It was really bad. And I'm annoyed because it is definitely better, but it still looks, it's got all like the awkward bits that don't fit anywhere else in, so I don't even feel like it's that satisfying, but maybe I'm just holding myself to a silly standard. Ignore the towel that's drying on there at the moment, but this is the finished cupboard. So I tidied this bit up a little bit. Actually, I can probably, there we go, that's a bit better. And then over here, everything's just completely organised. This one's got blankets in, this one's got towels, and then these two are actually completely empty. Anyway, that is going to be it for this week's weekly vlog. I hope you've enjoyed. I've just remembered that all the Girlies IRL stuff was in this one as well. Also, we were definitely naive saying that that was going to be our last Girlies IRL meeting. Like, there is still so much to do. Obviously, we've got Mean Girls coming up in September, and doing like 2 tax returns and shutting down the company is quite a long process, and obviously it was only me, Maria and Jess here the other day, but Chloe and Abby were both available, like helping us out, sending receipts over and stuff like that to try and get it all done. But obviously we live in London, so we were the ones that had all kind of like come together, and then we were like the brains of the operation, and then we were asking the others for the bits that they could help with, which was a good way of doing it actually, but there's still a lot to go. Yeah, it feels weird, kind of sad, but also I'm really proud of us for what we created, and I will be even prouder of us once we have successfully officially closed it down, because it is a process. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you've had a great week. Let me know in the comments what you've been up to. I would love to hear all about it. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in next week's weekly vlog. Ah, thank you so much for me. Look at that timing. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, normally bacon sandwiches is about 3:30, so
You know what? Don't question it.
we're both hungry and we want food. Anyway, well, lovely to see you all, and we'll see you in
Next week's vlog.
next week's vlog.
Bye guys.
Bye.